And welcome back to the verse. If you've watched my last video, and I'm assuming they're going to come out very close together, my last video and this video, this is about maybe 10 minutes after I finished trying to do the UEE fighter training. I don't remember what it's called because it is not in my history, I don't believe anymore. No, because I did change... I did log out of the server, I should say. I did log out of the game. And I was going to go and try to get it to work again on my second account. And I haven't done that because I decided to just come back into this account now and do some stuff here. At the same time, this is happening on Thursday, and the latest Inside Star Citizen released today. Actually about 40 minutes ago, according to this. And so I'm going to do something I very rarely do, which is actually just watch it while I'm making a video. Now, it's not necessarily a react video, but I guess technically it is. But I'm trying to figure out, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to play it, and the audio will come through in the game. And I'm going to try to superimpose down here in the corner somewhere. Maybe the video will go through there. The reason why I don't tend to do react videos for a lot of the stuff is because I don't... watch a lot of the stuff, including I'll watch some of the Inside Star Citizens. I watch all of the whatever they're called, the CitizenCon demonstrations live. I do eventually watch all the videos, but I try to wait usually and look at things later on after the fact, because I find in a lot of videos they kind of give away a lot of what's happening. It's the same reason I don't take a part in the PTU that often, because doing something like that... Oh, what would you get for this? Need the Ace Interceptor helmets. I don't have those. Is there any where he just wants food? Yeah, like, I wish it would tell you, give me something fun. But he wants the saber mining tools. Oh, need their food. Snaggle stick, get up coffee. Okay, so let's see if any of those things are here. We're going to do that. So yeah, I don't tend to like taking part in the PTU usually, because then I'll miss out on kind of discovering things for my own. But... the new one, this is about Alpha 4.2, which is coming out, and I figure most of the stuff that's coming out is stuff that's kind of already been mentioned already on Spectrum, and so no real big surprises there. I also find usually I'm not a super big fan of like the necessary focus on combat, but this one is about Into the Storm, so I'm hoping it's about weather. And I'm sure that is foreshadowing of what it's going to be. So I'm going to go through here without playing the video because it's going to be kind of loud while I'm in this area. But once I find the stuff and we start heading over to Weeklow, we can watch the video. It's only about 10 minutes, I think. Alright, so let's see if there's any sabers here. Yes, and they are expensive, but he wanted 5 of those, right? So 70 grand. What am I going to get for 70 grand? And then he wanted milk and snaggle sticks, which might be available here also. I know I could use the, what are they called? Like the websites like Seastone, but not necessarily. I kind of like just to see if I find anything here. So it's the Get Up or Ready Up, whatever it's called. I should take that job first. Let's go to Galleria. And once we're outside of this elevator, I'm going to accept that one job so it doesn't disappear on me. This is exciting. Probably the best footage I've ever filmed. I'm gonna point out, this elevator, that handle is correct. It's not broken. It's only some of them here. Alright, so first things first. Contracts, Weeklo, want mining stuff. Where was that? Savior, accept. Cool. Alright, and then the other one was Snaggle stick and get up coffee. So let's see if we can find that here. We'll look up here first. Nope. Nope. Where's food court? No food court up here. Food court. I am having a bit of issue still with my lungs. As I said in my last video, the smoke in the air is bad, and with the fact that I already have bad lungs, it's making it really hard to speak or breathe. So if I start hacking and coughing, that is why. No, that's just berry juice. For a while there, that was a hot ticket item because it didn't knock you out every time you drank it. None of those, okay. Maybe we'll just go for the saber if I can't find, because I don't even know if I'll find snaggle sticks here. Yeah, I think we're out of luck. I don't know why I tried to jump that chair. Alright, so I'm going to start the video, I'm going to play it, and as we do that, we are going to head over to Weeklo. I'm going to do my best to remember to put my sabers into my ship. Alright, so I'm going to just tab away for a second. And we're going to get this video playing. And then I will try to superimpose it in the corner, but I might not get the video lined up with the audio perfectly, so if so, I do apologize. There you go, and I'm going to move my mic out of the way, because I'm going to talk about this after the video is over.
Stormbreaker is all about taking the next step in exploration gameplay. Making exploration work in Star Citizen actually requires you to go out and build locations that players want to visit. That's what we're doing now.
We were trying to push our FPS combat existing in-game and actually get players to feel like they're actually fighting for something.
Stormbreaker is different because you don't go into your contract manager to look for what to do. You just go off, fly down to a planet, and you start exploring.
We wanted to lead players from place to place and make them question what they're seeing.
So I want to be clear here. Stormbreaker isn't an event, and it's not a mission. It is a sandbox activity. It will be persistent, it will keep happening. Every single patch you can come back and you can run this over and over and over again, just like you can the Align and Mine sandbox activity.
It's not an event.
This is a continuation of the Regen Crisis storyline. In 4.1, we saw how Rayari was trying to tackle the Regen Crisis.
In 4.2, we're starting to see what ASD, a faction.
Alright. This is going to be kind of hard for me to line up the audio. So I'm going to keep putting in time codes when I'm going to restart it. So just for my own personal use, I'm at 134 in the video now. And that's why I'm not going to try to stop this and start this too much, since I'm not sharing the screen that is watching the video. This is not what I thought it would be about. This is definitely about more combat-focused gameplay. I'm still going to watch it, still going to check it out, but yeah. It's kind of funny that it's considered exploration, but it's something that you'll just do over and over and over again. So it's more of a combat grind to get stuff. It'll be like I'm assuming the contested zones or Hathor, which is less sandbox because you're still doing something that was planned and scripted as opposed to emergent, I would say. So, alright, so I guess I'll watch this. I guess we'll see. We got another like 9 minutes of this, see what it's like. But, yeah, so far, it looks like it's going to be, this is just another, like, in my mind, exploration would be like finding cool looking things out there that have no purpose. Cool structures, cool locations, finding a beautiful river, finding a planet or a large asteroid that is never mapped until somebody maps it. Or finding like the wormholes, finding wormholes and being able to sell that information. That to me is exploration gameplay. Definitely making it so that you can't fly across Pyro on one tank of gas on any ship would be exploration gameplay, because then you're going out far and exploring. This sounds very similar to how I get to Paradise Cove, which I wouldn't consider exploration gameplay because it's just navigating without GPS. But alright, so I'm going to start at 134 again, and we're just going to keep playing. But yeah, this is not, I thought they'd be talking about the storm technology and how they're adding the storms back into the game. But cool, we'll keep watching this.
Called Associated Science and Development is doing to address the regen crisis.
ASD is probably best publicly known for their weapons research division, which has released some high-tech weaponry that's already available to put on your ship. But they have many other research departments, and they're doing their part to help out with the current regen crisis and the Second Life initiative. They're diving into trying to fix the problem with imprints and regen. So it'll be interesting to see what solutions they propose. Now, over the years, ASD has gained a little bit of a reputation for maybe pushing things a tad too far. One of their weapons was known for the particularly gruesome effect it had on people it was targeted on, which gained them a bit of a reputation across the Empire for maybe pushing science a little bit farther than they should.
Stormbreaker will start with these data facilities that you will find on Pyro 4.
This is where ASD is storing a lot of their data, so you'll find a bunch of servers, and this is actively being guarded by security forces, which means you gotta land your ship somewhere where it's safe and then make your way down on foot.
ASD does not want you there. They will be quite upset that you're trespassing.
So if you want to explore the facility, you'll have to fight your way in. You'll find quite a few places in the facility that aren't that easy to get into.
As you explore as a player, you will encounter a new type of door access, the Lotus Scanner. You will need to kill the enemies in the area to try to pass as one of them wearing their outfit. It is just a simple door, but with this new mechanic, you can feel like Indiana, dressing as the enemies and going inside the enemy lines.
Access granted.
As you explore deeper into the facility, if you pay attention to your environment, you'll notice a number of different places and rooms that require a bit of extra effort to get into.
There will be unique loot, and the more of the facility guards you relieve of the ability to go home and say goodnight to their children, you will slowly find the first piece of the puzzle that you'll need to finish this entire loop. So if you discover the secrets that we've hidden, and you've taken care of the environment, you've found the information, you've read through the information, you've listened to the information, you might find that your journey takes you to Pyro 1.
Once you arrive at Pyro 1, there's one thing you'll immediately notice. A huge storm.
It is just mind-blowing. It looks beautiful. There will be rain. You've got this very dark environment because of this overhanging cloud. You've got lightning just constantly going off inside the clouds. It looks phenomenal.
If you were to fly into the storm, you'll notice that your ship starts taking massive amounts of distortion damage. If you don't watch out, this can seriously mess up your ship.
It'll cause it to turn off, and you will plummet to the ground. If you don't explode out of luck. You then have to walk out of the storm.
You'll quickly notice that you'll be affected by radiation damage.
So unless you've brought a load of rad pens, you're likely gonna die. And that's not even to say anything that might be in the storm that has mutated and isn't the normal version of what it once was.
So how do you get into the storm where ASD doesn't want you to go? On the outer edges of the storm, you'll find 3 shuttle stations that each have a shuttle that lead into the storm.
Once again, ASD don't want you there, so you'll have to part people with their lives.
These shuttles are specially retrofitted to allow them to withstand the distortion damage, allowing employees and also players into the storm.
We've made sure the roof is glass. It's using the old Crusader shuttles, so you can actually appreciate all of the beauty of the storm.
This is where some of the weather system improvements come in that we've been working on, where you'll see rain hitting the windshield, lightning outside, and thunder in the distance.
And also, you get a little bit of respite before the we're gonna put you through. So it's kind of like a nice, like, oh, look at this, and then you're gonna land on the beaches of Normandy, D-Day style. Here we go.
When you get off the shuttle, everything's gonna try to kill you.
You'll be immediately assaulted by loads of security guards outside.
It is very dark. The visibility is very low.
You'll start being affected by the radiation damage from the storm. If you do manage to get a radiation suit, you'll still find irradiated wildlife for you to contend with.
So just watch your back, watch your friend's back.
Your objective is to get inside as quickly as possible into the relative safety of the research base.
Once you're inside this facility, that's where Stormbreaker really begins.
All that stuff that you've done to get there, that was purely the beginning. It's the intro scene in the movie. You've not even hit the movie yet.
Inside, you'll find danger, mystery, great loot,
Death, action, cruelty.
audio logs, finally an alternative to reading,
Hello. Here we go.
new ways to open doors, which doesn't seem exciting, but we really are excited about it.
I'm really excited to see you playing with this new mechanic.
You're gonna find irradiated things.
Eggs, babies, screaming,
They might all be connected.
the horrors of science run amok.
You can find new battle vehicles that can only be earned in game. I said choo-choo as well. This isn't a fucking train. It's got massive weapons.
No, you just can't. You're just like. It's cool.
Yeah, it's cool. He's got the acting qualification, I don't.
I want players to feel something different to what they've been feeling when playing Star Citizens. I want them to be hyped for every bit of the mystery that they are trying to discover and all of the clues that they get right.
I think it's going to be an amazing patch. We've all been working very, very hard.
We've got VFX, lighting, audio, all of that is coming together to create the biggest, baddest content that you've seen in Star Citizen so far.
It's going to be cinema, as Zach would say. I'm really excited for you all to play it. I'm really excited to see you all discover it.
And the story doesn't end here. It really gets messed up in August.
It's really cool. I want to tell you everything.
So stop watching the video and go play the game.
Yeah, go play the game.
Now, of course, for those of you that have been playing or watching PTU for the last week, you already know much of what's not being said here. But that's by design. As we said back in February, it's our intention this year to have you discover as much as possible in-game through our monthly patches instead of having everything just spoiled here. And by the time Stormbreaker releases in about 2 weeks, there should still be a few more changes and improvements along the way. Oh, also, special shout out to Louis, Max, and everyone on the Montreal Environment team for kicking all kinds of ass on this one. And don't forget, we're currently taking submissions for this year's CitizenCon watch parties, where we'll send devs to watch the program alongside of you, and they have to submit to your every question. Mostly. For Inside Star Citizen, I'm Jared Huckabee. Thanks for letting us share the people and process of game development with you, and we'll see you all here next week for Star Citizen Live. Where'd my hair go?
All right, let's stop that. Okay, so pretty good timing since I'm on my way to Wicklow right now. I mean, they said that they don't want to give away a lot, and so they didn't show a lot. It's not like a direct tutorial on how to do the mission, but they gave away a lot of things that would have been kind of fun to not know first time going in, like that you need to find an outfit and then wear it to get through the door. But I think that's awesome. There is a video, we're going back years now, of an old mission in Microtech, I think it was, where you actually had to put on a lab coat. Exactly the same thing as that they're finally doing in this video here. I think it was right around the time the Carrick came out, because I believe the Carrick is where it started, and there was 2 players. Might have been at a CitizenCon. 2 different staff members playing different characters, and one had the Carrick, and one got into a shuttle, and then made their way to getting a lab coat and getting through a specific area. And that's what I've always wanted, is outfits to dictate how characters kind of interact with you in other ways. So right now it's just a door and a scanner. But I still think it's great that maybe if you're wearing guns and a helmet, you can't go to the TDD because it's like a bank, which they wouldn't want you wearing a helmet and gun while you're in there. If you're wearing all Ninetale stuff, maybe you're not going to be able to buy something, or maybe you are being able to buy something depending on where you're going. That would be awesome. I was really hoping this would be more about the storms and about radiation. Hopefully the only storm isn't the storm that's on Pyro 1, I think they said it was. Hopefully there is other weather. Maybe the solar flares would come back. That would be great. But again, combat. So it's not something I'm going to be taking part in this, unfortunately, because it's just not my thing. And especially, it's not my thing is just being on my own, because I die, I go down. At least you currently, I'm thinking by 4.2, they're still going to have item recovery. So at least you don't lose all your stuff except for what's in your backpack. But I still don't think that this is either exploration or sandbox as much as it is go to this location and run through this event here. And they say it's not an event, but I mean, having something happen when you arrive is, in my opinion, kind of eventy, just because it's ongoing. Doesn't really change that. I guess I have to ask Wicklow if I can land here.
Hello, yes. Can you see?
Also, I play mostly industrial, mining, hauling. I will do some combat, but with the very few exceptions, like trying to do something where I was in, there you go. While I was in jail, I don't go to Klesher that often because I don't play the criminal that often. It's not my bag for the most part, and so this one is go to a research base where scientists are working. What is that? Okay. And kill a bunch of scientists. At one point they even said those people are no longer going home to their children. That's not my playstyle. So yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be. Oh, there we go. It's gone. Hey, Wicklow. I'm not gonna be doing it. For that reason only. It's just the storyline isn't who I am as a player. I mean, the whole idea, I love the idea of maybe finding out what's going on. And it's one of those things like there's, I think it was in Clerks. Why did that just open? There was a scene in Clerks where they talked about the Death Star. Are all the people that died in the Death Star bad guys? So we have people like the engineers, the contractors building the place, were they bad guys? They knew what they were doing. They knew what they were getting into. Does that make them, you know, is their death justified? And I'm kind of on the idea of no, not necessarily. I mean, they're scientists doing work. So overall, I wasn't super into that storyline. But, I mean, other people will. But I do maybe think that they're not great and they're not doing something good and what they're doing should be exposed. But that's different than killing them. I feel like a lot of the inspiration for that mission, this, what is it called? Into the Storm mission? Or is that just the patch name? A lot of that inspiration came from Hitman. But Hitman, you have choices. And I know Star Citizen keeps saying, we want you to have choices. Well, why can't the choice be stealth? Why can't the choice be coercion? Why is it specifically murder? I mean, the guy even said, you go part people, more people with their lives. So you're just going to go murder. It's basically murder. If you're finding info, there should be other ways to find info. Now, what really doesn't make sense from a logical point of view is that you're going to this place that is somehow attached to the issue with the regen crisis. I'm going to point out one thing too. I didn't try to put things onto this elevator because I find then I can't always get it to work right. So I dropped them off over there. Now they're on the elevator. And now I can lower it down. Now they're actually snapped onto the grid correctly. As long as this works. And so I can like drop it down again my own way. Well, now it seems like it's not working at all. So, but this sometimes works a bit better. Oh, except for they're all showing up there still. Why didn't that work? No, we'll try this again. I do like that they've added radiation. I wonder who was the first person to decide that radiation equated with glowing. Was it Godzilla? Like, why is everything irradiated glowing green in pretty much every game? Even the blood is glowing green, like aliens. Kind of interesting. Oh, there we go. Okay, confirm. Alright, so what do I get from this? What did I get? Guicola, what'd you give me? I'm gonna go find out. Salvage skull coach. Ooh. What? Let's see what it looks like. You know what? I think that's kind of cool. What am I accepting? Retrieve, accept. Was that accepting the couch? Let's do this. And we'll do it this way. Yeah, overall, I mean, I will eventually try it because it'd be interesting to actually try everything this game has to offer. But I'm not chomping at the bit. Hopefully that storms, hopefully the radiation zones, hopefully the solar flares and things like that are all coming elsewhere. Hopefully the rain and the storms and the radiation will be coming other places. Oh, did it bring it up for me and I just dropped it back down? Is that what accept means? It would bring it up for you? If so, that's pretty awesome. I wasn't even paying attention. Alright, let's try it again. Hello? There is some issues with this freight system, and I think it's usually server related. So we're gonna have to wait a second. But yeah, let me know what you think. Is this kind of your thing? Is this kind of what you expected? Are you excited for the Valkyr? Now, does this mean the Apex Valkyr are only in this location? Only in Pyro 1's Stormy Irradiated Zone? Or does that mean there's going to be other ones somewhere else? Could be either. Alright, let's check this couch out. Ah! It's like, they're all human skulls. I think it'd be great if it was Banu skulls. Alright, can I move this? Let's go bring it home. Got myself a couch. Is this couch worth the 80 grand that I spent for it? Yeah, why not? I wonder, I mean, I'm sure there's a list somewhere, but what are all the things you get for this? Like, when this game has true persistence of your gear, and that I can take this couch and lock it down somewhere, like they showed, so that you can have the couch locked into your apartment or your hangar, and people can come visit and they're not going to like swipe it or toss things around or move things, and every time you log in the game it's there. I think that'll be awesome. I can actually even see this being particularly on a ship. Somebody uses a ship like the that aesthetic would fit in well with the Caterpillar, and you can kind of have like your different furnitures. And if you keep getting skull couches, because there does seem to be a lot of repeat for the different decorations, I could see somebody maybe setting up a shop where if you don't want to do the weeklo things and you want to be sure you get what you want, you go to someone's Kraken or someone's merchantman. Oh, I thought that disappeared, but there it is again. Alright, we're gonna head out here and we're gonna go to where's my home base? Did I do Lorville or did I do Area 18? I honestly do not remember. Luckily, if I go to assets, open. Yeah, based on all the stuff, including the lifeguard attachment, Lorville is my home. So we're going to go to Lorville, and we're going to drop our sofa off there. If I can spell Lorville correctly. There we go. Do not have enough fuel to reach Lorville. Where can I go? It's because I just traveled across the entire continent. So let's go to Shallow Frontier, and I'll fill up there, and then I'll join you again in Lorville. Alright, we're in the Cutlass Black now. The reason why is because I tried a few ways to refuel my cutter, and every time I refueled, as soon as I switched modes or tried to set my distance. Actually, one time I was able to set the distance and set a route, but it showed that I was almost out of fuel in my fuel. So I don't want to be stranded in the middle of nowhere. So we're switching ships, and this will get me there, no problem. But it will be arriving with a different ship, so I did have to claim this ship and spend a little time waiting for that to happen. Now, that's good though, because it gave me time to kind of just think about what am I doing. There we go. Let's head to Lorville. So I understand that this game isn't for everyone, and every part of this game is not for everyone. So I don't know if I came off it as being kind of more negative with this Inside Star Citizen, but that's not necessarily my point. It's just not for me. I do feel, now I have worked on games in the past. I've worked on a few games both as programmer and as an artist that were games that saw release for like fan games. I've also worked on games that have had commercial release that are available to purchase on Steam and have actually done quite well. A lot of those times as a tester, or as helping with development and story. And I understand that on the testing, sometimes I've loved things. I thought they were great. I thought they were challenging. I thought they required a lot of thinking and a lot of thought about how you would go about solving an issue. And then in further testing, other people definitely disagree with me and didn't like it. And the game changes based on that. I'm absolutely certain that although people mention that this game is still in alpha and that we are basically the testers, that we are not the testers, that CIG has testers. And if those people that are testing enjoy something, that is the direction that this game will continue to go. And if the developers enjoy playing specific games other than this game, they will take inspiration from those games, and that is the direction this will go. And with every new developer, that direction goes along with them, and those ideas go along with them, as well as definitely what is selling right now. I know it is said many times that marketing isn't making the decisions, but absolutely are. And I could quite easily say that the new Atlas that is shooty, looks like a train in the video, probably was going to be sold. I don't see why it wasn't going to be sold. They probably got as far as having even a video and a mock-up for it. But with the backlash with selling every little thing, including the blades, I could see them making the decision of let's not sell this because it'll just be one more thing for sale. I think that's great though, because I think more things should not be sold. I've mentioned this before. You should really have to get a lot of stuff in game. Even with manufacturing coming up, I really hope manufacturing doesn't mean that you can build and make every single thing in the game. I think there are some things that you should not be able to build. Even if it's something you own, I don't think you should be able to build. What comes to mind, things that should be rare. Knight Rider paint, which I don't have and I would love to have, but I don't think it should be able to be created. The challenge coin that was just given out, the CitizenCon trophies, things like that should not be able to be created. Copies of ships that were one-offs, like the AMD ship or the Intel Optum drive or whatever it's called, the Raven. Those should never be able to be produced and sold and recreated. There should only be one of each individual type that someone owns. So if you have one that's entirely destroyed, sure, you get another one. But if you have one already, you should not be able to build another one and sell it. That would take away from a lot of the stuff in the game. So hopefully stuff like that. I'm also a very firm believer, even though I don't think it's ever going to be the case. One second, I'm going to cough my lungs out. Okay. Hopefully I muted most of that. The Banu Merchantman should never be able to be built in game, is my opinion. And the reason why is because in lore, the Merchantman is something that was hard for people to get because they came from the Banu. And it's not a manufacturer that is a human manufacturer like Crusader or Anvil, so the ability to manufacture them should be related to the Banu, who definitely wouldn't want other people building their ships. And the whole idea that you would have to earn a merchantman means that I would love it in the game that you have to earn the merchantman. You have to go and do something for the Banu, and I'm really looking forward to when Banu come in the game, because the relationship with the Banu has to not be about murder. It has to be about something else. It has to be about, you know, working with the Banu. That's not what I'm looking for. Where is... Where's the spaceport? Huh. Why can't I see it? Am I at the wrong location? Can't be. Oh, there it is. For some reason, I couldn't make out the shape of that building. I was very confused. And those blue rectangles weren't showing up for me. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm not really focused, as you can tell. Yeah, so I would like it if, like, more stuff can only be earned in game. I think one of the ultimate things, and I don't know if any CIG staff have ever seen my video or will ever see my video. Chances are none of them will ever see this one. But if they do, or if somebody ever wants to, like, you know, if they've got an in, send them to this section and this section only. The ultimate in-game earnable ship should be a piece of garbage. A ship that nobody wants and that is just a ridiculous thing that should be hard to get and should take maybe some combat, but a lot of other stuff, a lot of trading, a lot of gathering, a lot of running errands for other people. And that ship should be the Jalopy. That would be amazing if that showed up in game as a ship that somebody could earn just to have, because it would be hilarious. So there you go, CG. Make something that is earnable in game. Make it, some of it has to be mining, some of it has to be box deliveries, some of it has to be going and gathering fruit freshly picked off a tree instead of finding it in a crate somewhere. That would be terrific. All right, we're coming in to our hangar, and we're going to end this video with me suddenly having a panic, but I'm okay. Suddenly realizing I wasn't sure if I had actually brought my sofa with me or left it in the cargo hangar. But we're going to put our sofa down. We're going to find a nice place to put in our sofa. And we're going to just sit down and relax and end the day. It is the weekend. It is super... Sorry about that. Super smoky still. That being said, because it is now the beginning of summer and I have a lot of things to do getting ready for the camping season, I'm going to be in the bush up north. So if I don't get this out on Friday, which is probably not going to happen, I'm going to be away for Friday night most of Saturday. So hopefully I can get this out on Sunday. But I'm not going to be playing a lot this weekend, and the craziness of the next few weeks. Where should I put it over by the beginning? I think a lot of things despawned in that area over there, didn't they? So let's set up our little corner here, and we'll see how long this lasts. The video did say that the patch is coming out in a couple of weeks, which means that for the most part, there we go. This should be okay, at least for a while. And I don't know if it'll ever disappear when the patch comes out, but I'm assuming... What is that? Is that my little multi-tool tiny? Yeah. But there we go. Let's take a seat. Sit in the... X marks the spot. Let's sit there. With my backpack on. Definitely... sticking through. Look at my gun is coming through the top. There we are. We got our sofa. We've done it. We got it safely back. Let's see how long it stays in here. So that's it. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. I don't know what I'll be doing. If you have any suggestions of what I should do in one of my videos, let me know. Goodbye, everybody. Hope to see you all soon in the verse.